And we're live. Okay, so this is part 2 of our, we're reviewing the Feminist review of my article. I guess if you're not many people watch the first one, but that may be because of how I titled it, which is fine. So we're going to go back, and I have Unvarnished here again.
Hello.
Yay. Okay, so we're on number 7 of this, the crap this feminist was viewing. She says, again, women are manipulative and controlling. I know shit tons of women who are manipulative and controlling. We're saying don't be those kind of women. To suggest that that there are no women that are like this is disingenuous as fuck.
That's very true. And then she goes on to say that they are out to get men. And it's not that they are out to get men. It's that they do this to other women. So other people in different situations.
Right. But the article I wrote was specifically for girls who are respecting boys. Not girls respecting everyone. It was how to respect boys.
Yeah.
Right? Because a lot of boys don't get respected. See, they're desperate for the relationship because they're the ones who have to go out there and do the hunting, right?
Yes.
Because just look up when a woman sets up a profile on an online dating site, right? And a man does. The woman gets 800,000 replies. He might get 1 or less. Out of all the women he has to go through and say, the same kind of generic message or something within her profile to show, hey, I read your long ass, whole life story thing, right? Make comments here and there. And then hopefully she doesn't read it the wrong way by her injecting her own fucking whatever. I've had that issue too, because I have tried online dating and it hasn't got me anywhere because it's just no one in my fucking area, man. There isn't. This is just like a dead zone for relationships. And whatever relationships I could be in, I really don't want.
To me, online dating seems like less or very rare long-term relationships, more so one-time hookups.
Yeah. I definitely don't want the one-time hookup. Because that's the one time you get an STD.
And that's just me talking to other people who have used online dating, is that they seem like, they might date somebody for a week or see somebody for a week or something, but it doesn't ever seem very long usually.
Yeah. Okay, so moving right on. This is a nice thought. Although it entirely skips the whole work of studies around how fucked up abusive relationships are, how hard is it to leave them, etc. Well, that depends on the girl, right? Because she plays this yo-yo game. Well, I want to be with you. I don't want to be with you. I do want and he's supposed to be understanding of all her feelings and what she's going through, right? Because he's got to, man up, quote unquote.
Yeah, but I think she's talking about the abusive relationships.
Yeah, but I didn't mention it. I don't even know what she's referring to in here.
Yeah.
I guess. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So she's replying to my number 8. Twilight is not real. These are characters in a book. They are not real people. The dangerous character who falls in love with the yeah. Okay. So that's what she's referring to.
Okay, the book series.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about all these. Okay. Any of these that whether you're talking about 50 Shades of Grey or the Twilight series or what have you, right? All of them have this really dangerous hunky guy, right? And they're
okay, I've read the entire Twilight series.
Oh, that's God, not an abuse.
Well, their books are actually better than the movie. Except for they're actually okay, except for the main character, Bella, absolutely plain, horrid. You actually start to like the backdrop characters, or you're going to be your favorite characters, which is terrible for a book. But I'm reading because like my favorite character in the book was Alice, okay? And she's the backdrop character. She should have just made a book about Alice. I would have read the shit out of that. That was the most interesting character to me. Cool. And actually, funny enough, the fourth book, which was absolutely the most horrid of all of them, didn't have Alice in it very much at all. Funny enough. But anyway, so.
Okay, so have you seen True Blood?
I've seen True Blood.
Okay, so same thing with her, right? She starts dating the dangerous vampire. Like all of them. The girls are dating the dangerous vampire, right? But he's good looking, but he's gonna protect her. Like, dude, it's like the same teeny bopper. It's masturbation material. That's all it is, right?
Well, it has to do with the mystery. You know, it's the mysterious, good-looking guy that you don't know that much about. I would say would be the base.
Has that whole bad boy, dangerous like aura around him. Because
it starts to get that way. It starts out as like, oh, this mysterious guy, and then it gets with this mysterious, dangerous guy.
And for some reason, the werewolf guy is shirtless again.
Well, he looks nice.
Exactly. Again, this is going back to, teeny bopper masturbation material, right? Because when it comes to guys are visual, right? We look at the ass, we look at the vagina, we look at the lips, we look like all these are indicators that she's ready to fuck you, right? So these turn us on, right? That we're biologically programmed to get sexually turned on by physical features of a woman, right? Whereas the woman, right, she looks at the guy's shoes, the car he drives, the clothing he wears, the thickness of his wallet, because these are indicators that he's a good provider.
Which is important if you want to have children.
Exactly. Because while you're having the children, someone else has to go and get the fucking resources.
But anyways, I'm confused about her mention of abusive relationships, considering in Twilight that's not an abusive relationship. It's kind of stalkery and a little obsessive, but it's not abusive.
No, what she's talking about is what I mentioned here is that the bad boy, the whole bad boy image thing, right? The angry tough guy. He's eventually going to get violent with you, right? If you like the fact that he can beat up this guy and that guy, eventually that guy is going to get angry at you and beat you up, right? Because I've seen this before.
Depends, like if you're talking about somebody who's like angry and aggressive all the time, or just somebody who's like happens to be a good fighter.
No, I'm talking about the asshole. The assholes, right? The guys who are always total assholes to everybody. They look to tear people down, right? So they're full of this cocky assholeness, right? And girls really seem to flock towards that, right? Because again, it's the dangerous bad boy syndrome.
I got this nerdy guy who was shy. So I didn't.
You chose wisely.
Yes, he didn't have a girlfriend for like 5 years before me.
I haven't had a girlfriend in a long time.
Yeah, I found that adorable. And I liked shy people. I thought they were really cute. So some guy who's like really like shy, and even he still displays some shyness. It's awesome. I love it. And I find it very cute. Even though we've been together for like 10 years, he'll still display some shyness in some things, and it's absolutely adorable to me. And I love it because I find it so cute.
Which is actually unusual in my experience.
He still had enough confidence to be the one to ask me out. Confidence is important.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Now,
well,
but being shy, I like, but he had enough confidence to ask me out. So it wasn't a shy guy who was just hiding in a corner, too afraid to ask the girl out. He actually went out and got a new outfit to wear and did his hair. He got his haircut, fresh haircut and everything, and asked me on a date.
This was like in high school? Because you mentioned you've been with him for a while.
Yeah, we've been together for 10 years. I was a senior in high school, and he had graduated the year before me when he asked me out. But we were friends in high school.
I got you.
So when he asked me out, though, he had already graduated, but I was a senior. Right. So still kind of high school sweethearts, kind of there, getting on the end there. Yeah, but I liked that shyness, but then I also was attracted to the having enough confidence to ask me out.
And he prepared for it too, by the sounds of it.
Yes, he did. It was adorable. It was so adorable. He was also shy enough to where, this is after our first date. We got back. We were going to hang out at my house and watch some movies, you know. And I purposely sat down on the couch thinking that he would sit next to me, but he was too shy for that. And he actually sat on the chair. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was really cute. And I had seen that, you know, he's just shy. And I had invited him over to sit on the couch with me. So confident enough to ask me out, but then also had the shyness that I liked, that I thought was really cute.
Okay. Okay, so one of the things I mentioned here is to know the difference between a good guy and a guy who's only being good to get into your pants, right? The good guy will do nice things for people who aren't going to benefit him, right? Whereas the bad boy might only do good things to look good, if that makes sense.
Yes, that makes sense.
Okay, so she goes, again, okay, this is a nice thought, although it entirely skips the whole works of studies around how fucked up abusive relationships are, how hard it is to leave them, etc. No, it's not really hard to leave them. You just fucking leave. You grab your shit and fucking go.
I think what she means by hard to leave is just the psychology about this, and this could go for both men and women in abusive relationship, especially men who could be in manipulative, abusive relationships with women.
Okay. See, I wasn't even talking about abusive relationships. I was talking about guys who are violent, who are eventually going to turn violent towards you, because that's what violent people do.
Yeah, she's bringing up abusive relationships.
Yeah, and I'm not. She's going outside the scope of what I'm talking about.
Just for like everyone's information, DV, which is domestic violence, statistically, the perpetrators are almost 50-50 male and female, just for everybody's information and the knowledge.
Yeah, being violent has nothing to do with what gender you are.
Mm-hmm. And so, I guess like I can't, because I want to address her, because she's saying, well, how hard it is, even though you didn't really talk about.
Go ahead if you want to cover it.
Well, my mom was actually in an abusive relationship, and it was hard for her to leave, but mostly because he had moved her away from all her family members into like states away. You know how big America is, like states away, okay? And so he had isolated her perfectly. And this could be another reason why it could be hard, if he's able to isolate you and then start the abuse. Because then you're like, holy crap, where do I go? And this could even be even worse for men because there's no DV shelter set up like there is for women. But my mom was eventually able to leave him. She still, was able. And then he was also friends with her boss. And she couldn't, she had to leave my brothers behind because he said he threatened, and his friend would have fired her from her job that she got if she tried to take my brothers with her. And she couldn't afford to do that, being so far away from family and then having me to take care of me. So this is what could make it harder to leave relationships. And so it could be a little bit of psychology, or it could be somebody isolating somebody, making it a bit harder. But you should still strive to leave. For sure. You should still do everything you can to leave that relationship, even if it is hard. Like my mom still strived to leave that.
Okay.
All right, we can move on.
Okay, so number 9 says this is basically victim blaming for actions men take without anywhere near the same amount of risk or blame placed on them. This is a giant pile of rape culture bullshit sewn into this one. There's no such thing as rape culture. Okay,
no, we don't live in a rape culture.
Is something that is shared by multiple people. Okay? Right? It is accepted and shared amongst multiple people. There is no rape culture because nobody thinks, hey, rape, it's great, it's wonderful. Nobody does that.
We've got laws.
So let's read what she's talking about. I said, take responsibility for your own actions. Yeah, that's totally rape culture, man. Nobody convinced you to do something risque without your consent. That's true. That is ultimately true.
If you know that this is just, you should take a little bit of responsibility. Obviously, if you drink so much you pass out, somebody rapes you, that's not your, like, that is not a good thing, okay? You should not get raped, passed out. But you should have also taken necessary safety precautions and not drank so much that you did pass out, putting yourself in harm's way. And that's just being safe.
Right? Just like if you know a neighborhood is really fucking dangerous because they have a high rate of crimes, you don't walk alone down that fucking street unarmed. Chances are someone's going to mug you, someone's going to rape you, someone's going to, you know, huh?
Or you like saying, like, if you live in a high crime city, maybe New York or something, you don't leave your house or your apartment or whatever unlocked.
Yeah.
And then you get robbed. Of course the criminal's in the wrong. The criminal should not have robbed you. But you really should have taken...
Here's a better scenario, and most people aren't aware of this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you go running into the convenience store. You're only going to be 5 minutes because you only want to grab that one item, and you leave your car running, right?
Mm-hmm.
With the key in the ignition.
Mm-hmm.
That's illegal. Most people don't realize that's illegal. Now, if a criminal comes by, steals your car, and runs somebody over, killing them, you are now going to be charged with murder of the second degree. You were an accomplice to that murder. Because of your negligent actions, you are now partially responsible for that person being dead. Had you taken your keys out of the car, and you don't even have to lock the door, right? But if you had taken your keys with you into this thing, it would have been considerably harder for them to steal your car. You made it possible for some, like, you openly gave the option for someone to steal your car and to commit a crime with it, right? That is very illegal. You, like, if a cop comes by and your car is running, you can at the very least get a ticket. They will ticket you for that shit.
Yeah,
you can look that up. If you don't believe me, you can look that up. On the other thing here, nobody can convince you to do anything without your consent, right? Unless they're coercing you. Now, coercing does not mean convince in this context. We're talking legally, right? So if someone says, I'm going to break your legs if you don't get naked, right? That's coercing you. Saying, oh, come on, baby, please, you know I love you. That's not coercion.
No.
We're talking legal here, not generic definition. So
you're talking about somebody's like, hey, just one more drink.
Actually,
like, come on, just one more drink, and then you're like, yeah.
Yeah, okay. No. Here's a perfect example. This actually happened. This was on something called Knuckleheads in the News.
Okay.
Right. Every Thursday they have a segment for an hour long on the radio station I listen to. And this was one of the stories one day. So this couple broke up, right? And the guy calls her over, says, "Hey, you have a bunch of your shit here. Come and get it." So she says, "Fine, I'll come and get it." She goes to grab it, right? And as soon as she walks in, he locks the door and blocks her way from exiting. And he says, "I'm not going to let you leave here unless you sleep with me one more time." She goes, "I don't want to have sex with you." He goes, "Well, I'm not going to let you leave until you agree to have sex with me." So she agrees to have sex with him because otherwise he won't let her leave. And then he lets her leave. She calls the cops. The cops show up saying, "Hey," she says, "you raped her." He goes, "No, no, no, no. I got video proof that she agreed to it." Because he had recorded the entire thing and hands it to the cops. And the cops watch it and go, "Yeah, you raped her. Thanks for giving us the evidence for it." Because that's coercion. That is a prime example of coercion.
Yeah, that's a great example.
Right? So
that would be definite rape.
Yeah.
But not if some guy says, "Hey, do you want to have sex?"
Yeah,
and maybe you say no at first, but maybe he like comes on to you a little bit later, and then you agree. Then that is not rape.
We're going to come back to this one actually in a minute, because when we're done, we're going to come back to this because Witchy on Twitter, she showed me something a feminist argued, and it's kind of along the lines of that. Okay, so it said, waking up Coyote Ugly is not rape. It's not. See, Coyote Ugly is when you get so drunk the night before you wake up, right, in a strange house, and you'd rather gnaw off your arm than wake the person up, right? Because you went home with like the ugly, you had beer goggles on, and you went home with the ugly person or a wretched person of some sort, right? Don't be reckless with your body. Again, there's no rape culture here. This is you taking personal responsibility, something feminists hate. They cannot stand the concept that they are responsible for themselves.
See, what they want to do is they want to put all the blame on the man.
Oh,
it must be the man's fault that this happened, not mine, even though I did all these things that were not safe.
Right.
You have to have a little bit of personal responsibility for your actions.
Yeah. You can't expect others to respect your body when you don't. If you're going to be so reckless with your body, you're doing all sorts of dangerous things with it, you got to expect dangerous things to fucking happen. I saw this kid on a skateboard, right? He's on the skateboard, and he tries to do this trick, and he falls off. And he gets mad at his skateboard, and he slams his skateboard on this concrete wall thing. Well, it bounces off the concrete and hits him in the fucking head. Well, no shit, you fucking moron. He did that to himself. He hadn't gotten angry at the skateboard. It's not the skateboard's fault. The skateboard's not in control. He's in fucking control. But he displaces his anger out on, except for taking responsibility for his own actions. When you do something risky, there's the word there, risk. You're putting yourself at risk. When you do that and bad shit happens, I'm not going to feel sorry for you. Yeah, it's wrong for them to do it, but you're the one who enabled them.
Don't make things easier for other people, because people will take advantage of situations. Just don't make it easier.
Yeah, that's a general statement, whether you're talking about rape or being manipulated or anything.
It really is.
Now it's okay to be vulnerable with people who have earned your trust. But when you walk into a party where you don't know anyone and you get blackout drunk, what the fuck do you think's gonna happen? It's no different than if I go to an ATM, right, late at night, and I get thousands of dollars out and I wave it around in people's faces, someone's just gonna grab that shit and fucking run.
You will get robbed.
Yeah, you will get robbed. This is why you don't just walk around with money in your fucking hand down the fucking street. People will snatch and run. And then what are you going to be doing? Right? This is why you take precautions to protect yourself. But we can't expect women to protect themselves. Oh, no, it's always the men who are bad, except for the fact that half the rapists are women. And about a fourth of those, or about half of those women who rape other women. And that's the shit you never fucking hear. Don't drink if you're underage, and don't drink if you can't handle alcohol. Again, this is not rape culture. This is about, again, personal responsibility and looking after yourself. So again, these feminists are fucking retards. They can't.
That's even good advice. This is even good advice for guys. This is even good advice for guys.
Yeah, because
you can easily replace this and be like, this is good advice for guys. This is all you're dealing out is good advice. Don't do these things.
Right, and if you do, then accept the consequences for them. See, this is what feminists fucking hate. They cannot tolerate the fact that there are consequences for their actions, good or bad. They just want to expect the world to cater to every one of their little fucking problems. Okay, so she goes 10. For 10, she goes, patriarchy is rampant here. Patriarchy? What patriarchy? What control over you do I fucking have? First, that fighting is the correct answer. Next, that women are manipulative and lie about right men. What statistic? Nearly a lie. No, actually, it's fucking factual. Hold on. Let's go up to number 10 to see what she's referring to. Okay, 10. Stand up for yourself and fight your own battles. Don't tell a boyfriend to beat someone up just because you don't like them. Don't lie to a boyfriend about being raped or sexually assaulted because a boy said something to you didn't like or made you angry, quote unquote. This isn't just a lack of respect for boys. It also demeans all girls who have had boys sexually assault them. Because with every false claim, those girls are taken less seriously and are much less likely to be believed. Sex should never be used as a tool to harm someone. How the fuck do you take issue with that? There's no patriarchy here. Where did I say anything about boys being in control?
You didn't.
I didn't. I said you should be fighting your own battles. That's giving agency to women. How the fuck is that patriarchy?
Well, she liked the fighting. She said that the fighting was the correct answer.
Right, okay.
But then she didn't like that women are manipulative and lie about rape and control.
They do. If you look
He
at
said
India,
that statistically nearly a lie, but like there's been plenty of times where women have lied about, men have spent time in jail over rape lies, and then the woman coming out later and being like, "Oh yeah, this is a lie."
First of all, here's a story. 11-year-old girl lies about her stepfather, says he raped her. He spent 7 years in prison, not jail, prison. That's a completely separate thing. Believe me, they are vastly different. Okay? 7 years in prison. She comes out when she's 18, admits that she just didn't like him. So he spent 7 years in prison because his stepdaughter didn't like there was no physical evidence. There was no concrete physical evidence. All they could find was that her vagina had some redness around it, which could be caused anything from riding a fucking bike, right, to just anything. Mm-hmm. They found none of his DNA in her whatsoever. Nobody caught him red-handed with her. Nothing. Like, there was no actual evidence directly linking him to raping this 11-year-old. Okay? Now, in India, right, there's a 53% false accusations of rape. 53 fucking %. At the end of this video, I will be putting that in the down below, so you can check my fucking sources. There's also a YouTube video where this Indian woman covers all this shit, that women constantly lie about these things in order to hurt their ex-husbands. There's all sorts of shit these women do, right, to manipulate the system to harm people they just happen to be mad at.
This has happened countless times.
False claims are nearly non-existent, and the fact that they get blown out of proportion and that actual claims of rape go vastly underreported and rarely prosecuted or punished makes number 10 a sitting pile of bullshit. No, it doesn't.
How can she say that they go vastly unreported if they're unreported? You don't know.
Exactly. If they're unreported, you have no idea how many are unreported because they didn't report them.
She's just pulling things out of her ass now, trying
No,
to.
she's going by the typical feminist lie that only 2% of claims of rape are false, when that's actually bullshit. And again, I'm going to show another video that actually statistically analyzes this, and it's actually closer to 40% in America of claims of rape are false. And actually, the FBI never says 2%; they say 8%. But again, there's the way that's been manipulated, and the video I'll put in the down below goes over that extensively. 11, great thought here. Also, our control of our emotions isn't just a giant act of will. Yes, it is. This ignores a large body of research that shows that our environment, our body, blah, blah, it can influence it, right? But that doesn't mean you can accept those influences. You can, I don't know, decide to ignore shit.
Well, that's like saying I have no control over myself. It's all the outside sources. That's ridiculous.
It also puts the onus of the other person not being assholes on the oneself, which is bullshit. I don't know what she's saying here. Being offended is not a crime. It's not. That's right. But you also don't have the right not to be offended. Particularly when the offense is impinging upon someone else. Are you understanding what the fuck she's trying to say here?
No, I'm like trying to.
Are you reading this too?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure this out too. Your friend. Okay, so the sense is impeding upon someone's sense of safety. Wait. What's she talking about? What is impeding? You can be offended, but people can be offensive if they want as well.
Okay, I said nobody can make you mad, glad, or sad. Nobody has control over your emotions but you. I said control. I didn't say influence. I said control. Sure, others can try to manipulate your emotions. See, I've already acknowledged that. But they are still your emotions, and nobody can offend you without your permission.
That's true.
That's true.
You can choose to ignore.
Yeah, you can choose not to be offended by it. So this guy at work, right? He tried to offend me by saying I was fat, and I just looked at him like, wow, congratulations, you have eyes.
Thanks for noticing.
Hey, guess what? The sky's blue. Go and salt the grass for being green. Like, dude, really? And I'm like, you know what? The fact that I'm fat makes you look bad. You know why? Because I'm doing 2 to 3 times the amount of work you are. So what the fuck does that say about you?
There you go.
Yeah, so that was an actual guy who tried to threaten me at work, right?
You can take things, you can turn them around, you can choose to be offended or not offended.
You know what? This is a scene right out of fucking Back to the Future 3. You yellow belly. He's an asshole, right? You don't have to get mad and accept someone's challenge, right? This is when Marty McFly finally got a little more mature, right? And realized that he doesn't have to respond that way to people. He can respond in a completely different way. Right? Because Buchanan was trying to manipulate his emotions by calling him yellow and getting him to lose his fucking temper. And then he decided, you know what? I don't have to lose my fucking temper. So what if he calls me yellow belly? Why do I care so much about this guy's fucking opinion of me?
That's such a good point right there. Like, those are other people's opinions, okay? Should you really, like, especially
like
stranger people or people who aren't close to you, that's not a family or a close friend, why would you even take their opinions into consideration? They shouldn't matter to you. They're not important people to you. You know?
Yeah, and opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one.
Exactly.
And they all stink. All right. Okay, so she's going, her response doesn't make any fucking sense. because emotions aren't just a giant act of will. Yeah, they pretty much, it doesn't, yeah, they are. They're your emotions. That's the key word. Yours. Nobody can control them but you. That's it. End of fucking story. If you get angry at something, it's because there's a reason you're angry.
People who can't control their emotions usually have some sort of mental disability. I'm just saying.
Or they are immature. They are intellectually undeveloped.
Children cannot control their emotions.
Yeah, because they haven't had enough experience with them.
Yeah, and they just don't have the mental capacity for it, and they over dramatize their emotions a lot of time. Like little kids, my daughter, for example, when she was real little, she lost her balloon. If I lost my balloon, I'm gonna be, oh man, you know. But then I'm not gonna. My daughter's gonna cry about it. It's gonna be the most traumatic experience of her life. These are over emotions for a simple thing.
Hold on. Traumatic event of her life so far.
So far, yeah. But like, that's basically, you'd either have to have the mental capacity of a child, that you're letting somebody call you like fat and you're getting sad and you're going to cry about it, especially if it's a person that doesn't even matter to you, or maybe you don't have you have a mental disability where you have trouble controlling your emotions.
Well, I know Jigglypuff, that's for sure.
You Trigglypuff.
Yeah. So yeah, things can influence your emotions, right? But you can decide whether or not they influence them or not.
You can decide whether to take them to heart. Like sometimes you can feel an emotion for a little bit. You know, you can get sad and you be like, oh, like I was like, if I lost that balloon, I'd be like, oh man, you know, I'm a little disappointed. But you know, I'm an adult. I'm gonna move on. I'm not gonna cry about it. I'm not gonna mourn over the loss. And that's kind of like if somebody called me a name, called me ugly, I'd be like, you know. But like, it's kind of brushed off. You're an adult. You go on.
Okay, hold on. I want to address this part where she says right here. Okay, it also puts the onus of other people not being assholes. No, it doesn't. Because people are going to be assholes no matter what, right? So it doesn't matter if the other people are assholes. You can ignore them being an asshole.
Yep. They have every right to be an asshole. This is a free country.
Being offended is not a crime. I never said it was. At no point did I say being offended is a crime. So why is she arguing against something I never fucking said?
I don't know, but like just like those people are allowed to be assholes, you're allowed to be offended. But it's just you're the one who's have to live through life miserable. So
being offended is not a crime, particularly when the offense is impinging upon someone's sense of safety.
I have no idea what she means.
No, that doesn't even make any fucking sense.
Yeah, I have no idea what she means there. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Harming someone's emotions. You can't harm someone's emotions. Okay, first of all, harm requires violence. How can you be violent against an idea? How can you be violent against something intangible? An emotion is intangible. Harming someone's emotional state? No, their emotional state is up to them.
Unless now, the only situation I could say you could harm somebody's emotions if they are not allowed to in any way escape your emotional harm that you're doing them. You can't walk away. They have to be trapped.
I need evidence that you can harm someone like that.
Like if they were
other than a child.
That's what I'm saying. If because a child's trapped in a situation, they can't escape the emotional abuse. That would be like in an abusive relationship, kind of a manipulative. If you can't get away, if you can get away, then it's kind of on you at that point. If you can't, that's the only way I can see this working out. If you can't get away. So if you're on your computer, there's a nice exit button, a nice power button. You don't have to be on Twitter. You don't have to be on Facebook or wherever you're getting this at.
Yep. If you're getting overloaded, like if you think you're being trolled or whatever, well, you know what? Even if you are, just ignore the fucking trolls. Like, what's so fucking hard about that? Okay, so I said, be a kind human being to everyone, boy or girl. Everyone deserves at least some respect. But remember, respect is mostly earned, not given. She even she goes, "Oh, such an empty statement to close with." It's not an empty statement. It's a factual statement. Not everyone deserves respect. Everyone deserves some respect, right? Everyone deserves some respect. Particularly this author whose opinions belittle women. Actually, this more empowered women. I said women have the power. Women have the control. So how did I belittle women?
I don't know. Nowhere in here in your article have I felt belittled. So.
Okay. Any place where you think that I belittled women was me parroting the belittlement of the other article that belittled boys. So fuck you. Nor does everyone deserve being nice to. I never said deserve being nice to. I said a modicum of respect. For example,
this is very true, though.
If you don't like people who have blonde hair, do you have a right to go up and punch them in the face? That's being disrespectful, right? So, like, I'm sorry, but if you're an asshole, I'm going to call you out. Yeah, and you're a worthless piece of shit fucking victim card bitch. So I'm calling you out.
I like how she did, I like at the end, she did a mic drop. But maybe we should do a mic drop because, like, some of her stuff didn't make sense. Some of her stuff she talked about that you didn't talk about. And we have addressed all of her issues. So and they were crappy. She had a crappy argument. You dropped your mic at the end of a crappy argument.
Yeah, she dropped her mic because she couldn't hold on to it.
She fumbled. She fumbled it like a football. Friggin' lost the game. But
yeah, okay. So I wanted to go back to what was it, number 9? Yeah, I forgot why I was going to go back to 9. Damn. Okay, have you heard of the Lacey Green thing?
What Lacey Green thing?
Okay, do you know who Philip DeFranco is?
No, man, I'm terrible with names.
Oh man, he's this huge YouTuber, right? He has the Philip DeFranco show. Back in the day, like when he originally started, he had SXE Phil, right? And his thing was SXE Phil, definitely not sexy, right?
Okay, so, I don't think I ever watched that.
Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna play a little clip of it. I'm gonna go throughout my YouTube channel and or my Twitter channel here, and I'm gonna see if I can play this. I'm gonna have to scroll down like hell. Oh, Hannah's on. She just posted something 4 minutes ago. So yeah, she's just like all feminists do. They just make shit up and pretend like it's real, and they think their arguments are the best when really they're just empty. I mean, the best they can do is either put up a straw man or put up a straw crow. It's fucking pathetic, girl. It's really pathetic.
Her arguments weren't very good. They weren't very well put together or anything.
Well, especially like the last 2.
Yeah, that was like the worst.
So she actually has a problem with the idea of everyone respecting everybody. That's what she's. Some people don't deserve respect. Yeah, everyone deserves some respect.
Because everyone has basic human rights, and you have to respect those basic human rights.
Right, so, or nobody should respect yours, right? Because if you can't give anyone at least some respect, and she's saying, I don't deserve any respect because she doesn't like my ideas. Okay, fine. But then I don't have to respect your ideas because you're just a man-hating bitch. Not you, of course, but you know.
Yeah, I know.
Just making that clear. Because I know some feminist is going to fucking quote mine me. Like they just fucking did. Oh, you know what? It'd be better if I went just searched both the Frankos. Here we go. Philip J. Fry, Philip DeFranco. Okay, here we go. Alright, so I'm going to have to take this separate. just got a free advertisement on my show. All right, so I got to turn this up first of all. You're going to have to tell me how well this sounds.
Okay.
Kids, hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday. Welcome back to the Philip.
That's pretty good.
Okay. Now you hear that.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to let you see that.
I would love to see it.
I bet you would. Ouch. Hello.
Rape culture.
Let's just jump into it. And the first thing we're going to talk about today, overwhelmingly the most requested story today. Hopefully this could just be the last, this will be the end of it. An update to the Lacey Green story from yesterday. That story, if you missed it, is Lacey Green, very large YouTuber, reporting in month.
Yes, every 20 seconds I've got to hit the goddamn pause button. I don't think Philip DeFranco would call the copyright on me, but you never motherfucking know. I really doubt he would. He's a pretty cool dude.
Smaller YouTuber. This over the much smaller YouTuber's use of Lacey Green's image in her thumbnail and video, even though she is talking about those things. And myself and many others, I saw this as a false report, potential abuse of the system, and a big channel bullying a smaller channel. And pointing out that even though my opinion and her opinion of fair use and what that stands for may be different, her actions and thumbnails in her own videos contradict what she is saying on Twitter and in other places.
And here's me pausing.
So the update to the story is late last night, Lacey Green responded to the video, and she tweeted, "Could Philly D be any more of a drama queen? I'm sick of alt-right assholes using my face to make money and direct harassment at me. Fuck off."
Okay, I saw this tweet, and I saw his original video. At no point in time did he ever say go to her channel and fucking harass her. Second of all, he is not alt-right at all. He's more liberal than he is conservative. So, yeah, and I've seen him like pair up with like a bunch of feminists and shit, right? God, look at her fucking ugly ass face. I mean,
Her
could you say
creeping me out, man? We gotta get there. We gotta get off of this.
Who smiles like that? Like everything
The
about her is
Cheshire
disingenuous.
cat smiles like that.
Not that creepily. All right, so yeah, and he at no point directed any harassment at her. She's getting a lot of shit because she did something heinous, and she can't stand it.
We'll get to that in a second, but even her fans started questioning her. One writing, "Lacey, I really like you, but seriously, don't you do the same thing?" Lacey responding, "Honestly, how? Whose likeness do I use? I mind my own business, and I'm mindful not to exploit the audiences or property of others online." Which many people sent her screenshots of her own videos. And see,
Ha 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 ha. Hypocrite much? How the fuck is this any different? Like, literally, how the fuck is this any different? But supposedly, like, she didn't even watch the other girl's fucking thing. She just said, hey, my face is there on the thumbnail. I'm going to try and sue her ass. Like, are you fucking kidding me? She false flagged another video, right, because her face was on. In other words, she got criticism, and she can't handle it.
I think all the YouTubers for their next videos that they're making should just put Lacey Green face, like, in the thumbnail.
Hell yeah. All right.
to that, she wrote, "As for fair use, you can use other people's image for parody, criticism, and so forth, but you can't just rip off and monetize their..."
They didn't just rip off and monetize your image. They criticized your fucking video, which goes under fair use.
In the case of a thumbnail, I wasn't sure if fair use applied. I consulted my...
If you weren't sure, why did you flag the video as copyright? You lying bitch.
YouTube manager, and they sent me the reporting procedure. And then a fan asked her, but did they say it was, or that they weren't sure and just sent you the procedure anyways? Lacey replying, "The form directs reports to the right policy team that can determine, since it's basically a legal question. I haven't followed up." The first thing, one, I think it's hard to argue that the way that I reported the story yesterday was anything close to a drama queen. Second,
yeah, there is no drama queen anyway. He simply reported it.
a question of, did you just call me an alt-right asshole who directs harassment towards you? Because neither myself or the young lady whose videos you reported seemed to tout that label or directed harassment towards you. Of your other tweets, your fans pointed out your own hypocrisy. Finally, the last bits of your
banana hammock
argument concerned me because it sounds like you reported the video without actually watching the video. You're in the thumbnail because some of your content is addressed in the video. Finally, I find it so odd that you use the reporting tool, something that could potentially take a video down, take a person's work.
Again, a banana hammock.
down as a way to ask the question. I find that extremely odd. And Lacey, you may consider it, as you even tweeted, a non-story, but
I find it kind of like bitchy, to be honest.
Also, when I think of the video, I see that Lacey Green has now uploaded a video response to me. It's a 6.5-minute video, and in the middle, she made this claim.
I don't think that this issue is really about, you know, copyright, fair use.
Yes, you do. No, actually, what it is you're bullying someone, and you're getting called out for being a fucking bully. Especially since you've made videos about bullying and how bad it is, and here you are bullying someone who doesn't have nearly the fucking subscribers you do.
Trying to get
and then she
video
goes,
and work taken down just because your face is in the thumbnail.
Yeah, and then when Philip DeFranco reports on this story, because he does news segments on every one of his videos, and he even had his own dedicated news channel, which was SourceFed and SourceFed Nerd, which he sold a couple of years ago, right? All they do is fucking news stories. He reports on a lot of stuff that's happening on YouTube. He's one of the first pioneers on this medium.
And I've never watched his stuff. Woo!
Yeah, but like he has like almost 5 million subscribers.
The Norwal is not one of them.
I actually like his videos. He does all right. I disagree with him on a whole lot of stuff, and there's a lot of stupid stuff I think he says, right? Like when the Bill Cosby thing came out, he says, when there's 40 people, then yeah, you know he raped. I'm like, no, that's a bandwagon argument. It doesn't matter if one false claim or 30 false claims, right? And none of their stories are making any fucking sense. And none of them have any fucking physical evidence. Not one of them has any evidence that Bill Cosby ever raped any of them. So I'm sorry, I'm ignoring all of them.
Some evidence would be nice. It's got
and then they say, well, these women have nothing to gain. Motherfucker, I listen to the lawyer on the radio station I listen to every day. They interviewed him. He said that he wants Bill Clinton to waive the statute of limitations, put him on trial, and then they want to be able to sue him for money to compensate them for the rape if he's found guilty. Right. It's about money.
It usually is with high
end, yeah.
High, like celebrities, somebody who's wealthy. You always got to think, is this going to be for money or even for fame? Because you know, if somebody else is famous, fame by association.
Like that woman who claimed that she got pregnant by Justin Bieber.
Yeah, there you go.
Actually, my favorite case of this, right, is in a Whoopi Goldberg movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what Whoopi Goldberg does is she pretends to be a man, right? She invents her silent partner, right? And everybody wants to meet Mr. Cuddy. The movie is The Associate, I believe. And she gets makeup and everything done so she can increase her business, right? Because Mr. Cuddy's getting a whole lot of attention, right? All sorts of rumors flying around. Nobody knows who this guy is, but he's immensely successful, and it's her the whole time. It's just her. It's just Whoopi Goldberg's character. And what ends up happening is this woman claims that she got impregnated by Mr. Cuddy, and they were saying he should man up, and if it's his kid, then he should like pay child support and all this other stuff, and blah blah blah. And Whoopi Goldberg's character's like, talking about your immaculate conception. So at the end of the movie, she comes out and she's dressed up as Mr. Cuddy, and she takes off her things. He goes, "I'm proud to be the first black woman to receive the Peabody Award," or whatever it was. And the woman who made that claim on like Oprah's show just fucking fainted in the middle of the room. It's hilarious. Okay, so going on.
I think that Philip DeFranco and other people who made videos about me, attacking me on this the past few days, are really seeing this as an opportunity to go in on the narrative that feminists are out to censor people.
That's coming out of nowhere, but okay.
Nobody said a single fucking thing about feminism the whole fucking time. I went through shitload after shitload after shitload of fucking posts that people were leaving on the comments. She talked about Philip DeFranco being a drama queen. No one brought up feminism.
No, you don't understand.
Not
It's always about feminism, even when it's not.
This is Lacey Green trying to misdirect the conversation, right, and try to make it about something else that it had nothing to do with. This has to do with the fact that Lacey Green is being a motherfucking bully. She's a victim card carrying
and dishonest
bitch who generally just makes shit up out of thin motherfucking air like you just saw. Nobody. Philip DeFranco didn't bring it up ever. And there's 2 videos that he did covering this. Not once did he bring it up that anything about feminism. The word feminism wasn't even fucking used at all. This is the first time she's just bringing it out of left field so she can use feminism as a fucking shield. To shield her from the fact that she was fucking bullying someone.
To that point, and I know I'm going to be repeating this for long-time viewers, I have no issue with classic feminism, classic feminists, the idea of equality across the board. I do have an issue, though, with...
Well, see, here's the thing, Philip DeFranco. Feminism has never been about equality. Not once. Not ever.
If anyone's interested in it, they would like to be about equality, there's a humanitarian or egalitarian.
Yep, there's humanism, there's egalitarian. So, yeah, there's other things. I don't know why you need to bring up feminism. The word feminism is in itself a sexist word. So I don't know how you can save a word that is inherently sexist. They're like, well, you're just focusing on the word, man. It's about the idea. Well, then why don't you use a different word for the same idea? Why are you
there's so many.
Why are you so attached to that one word? What good does that do you? Why don't you?
Especially since that word does no good.
That's like trying to save the word nigger. Right? It can't really be done. Or kike. Right? You can't save that word. Or
feminism has been attached
that word. Now, porch monkey, you can try and save that word because it refers to lazy people, not lazy black people. All right, so yeah, for those of you who challenged me on that claim that feminism has never been about equality, feminism has been around since about the 1850s. Not once, not ever, has there ever been a single campaign or protest for male issues where males suffer in society. Not
but
once,
there has been one.
Ever.
There has been protests by feminists against male.
That's true. They had the "Don't Be That Guy" campaign where they said they need to teach men not to rape because all men would rape if they had a chance. And I can bring up shitloads of quotes for you.
And I actually have a video in one of my videos where I show feminists protesting at a male DV victims group, they got together or whatever.
We also have videos of Erin Perez being kicked out of her own country by these feminists because they are unrelenting in harassing her, throwing shit at her house, death threats, right? All this shit just because she's trying to start a male domestic violence shelter.
Yep, there you go. That's equality for you. I guess feminism is about equality.
If you talk to Erin Perez, she'll tell you that at no point in time, and even back then, was feminism ever about equality or women's rights. It was about Marxism.
They just like to hide behind.
I'm all for Marxism if you're talking about Groucho, Chico, Harpo, or Zeppo. Give me duck soup any day of the week, you know. But that kind of Marxism, no. All right, let's go on.
Be someone that labels himself a feminist or any other group using that as a way to say, I'm right, you're wrong. When anyone says anything in opposition to them, that it's an act of hate, people who use that title as a shield and a badge that lets them go after other people. That's also a side
That's really well
argument
said.
thrust into this conversation that has nothing to do with you going after a smaller YouTuber. During the video, she also seems to call my show a...
Yeah, okay, so first of all, Banana Hammock.
Drama channel. She also says in the video that I hate her, which I don't hate her. I would say I get annoyed and frustrated because I find Lacey to sometimes live in the world of being professionally offended, and everything that isn't the way that she wants it is an attack on her or her belief system. So that can be frustrating and exhausting because that's a horrible way to start a conversation. But then finally she says,
because you know what, there are things to be angry about in the world right now. I just don't.
Look at her face. Like every time
You can never
like,
pause on a good face for her.
You know what? I bet she could lift like 20-pound weights with just her fucking lips. Like
Just
she
one
uses
side.
her lips more than anything.
I don't think that petty stuff on YouTube is in that category.
once again, Lacey, that's the problem here, is you see this as a nothing petty thing. You went after someone's video without addressing the fact that you use people in your thumbnails as well. Criticism and pointing out facts are not attacks. So that's where I'm going to end.
Thank you, Philip DeFranco. Yeah, he's absolutely right on that one.
Yes, I agree.
Basically,
completely.
just try to misdirect the conversation to go away from the fact that she's a hypocrite and she tried to tear down another YouTuber just because she didn't like the fact that she was being criticized. And this is what feminists fucking do all the fucking time. Now, it's funny, I talked to a feminist at my church. And she goes along with the same stupid rhetoric. She's like, I don't care what she was wearing, blah, blah, blah. That's victim blaming if you mention like what she was wearing and anything else. But when I brought up the scientist, right, who was made fun of for his shirt, she goes, well, he should have known better. He should have known. I shouldn't have known what? It was his female friend who gave him the shirt, who made him the shirt, right? And he wore it to honor her. And the stupid reporter made it all about,
everybody made it all about the shirt, and then basically tried to overshadow his scientific achievement.
Yeah. You know why? You know why?
Freaking
Because they have to make it about them. They can't handle that a man made this achievement and they do nothing with their fucking lives. That's what it is.
So jealousy's ugly.
Yep. Okay, so now I want to go to my history. How much longer do you think you'll be able to be on?
Probably another 20 to 30 minutes.
Okay.
Before I'm like, I need to go to bed.
We might have time for this. Okay, where's that video? There we go. Hey, anti-feminist. Let's tackle this video while we're at it. Okay, so we're just gonna do this for a minute. So yeah, this is another interesting video because this is again feminists making shit up.
This video is going to be a discussion with a friend interspliced with a beer and a chat. This is because my...
Okay, have you noticed that she always starts to talk with just one side of her mouth? Like, only one side of her face is actually doing any talking. And I don't think...
Is she drinking beer?
I think so.
Pal Riley and I shot a collab at VidCon that ended up being super awesome, but slightly incoherent and hard to edit, as VidCon vids often turn out.
See what I mean? She's constantly talking out of just one side of her face, but the other just...
Yeah. I still don't know what to think. She looks like she's like 13 and she's drinking beer.
No, I think she just has one of those young
I'm a
faces.
trans woman, and I make YouTube videos about feminism and social justice and all sorts of stuff that interests me.
I've seen this guy's video before.
Hopefully you think our conversation is interesting, while my solo commentary clearly drives forward the points I'm trying to make.
Yeah. Again, she's just talking out of one side of her face.
Anti-fem. Oh, that's me! This is for me!
Hold on, I want to go back for a second.
Incoherent. Now,
I'm a non-binary trans woman, and I'm
Okay, wait a minute. I'm sorry. You can either be non-binary or a woman.
No,
Male
they can
and
mix and match.
female.
They can mix and match all 60,000 genders.
I'm sorry, but if you're non-binary, you can't then say you're a woman because sex is binary. You're male or you're female.
His Adam Apple is looking kind of male, but his long hair is saying.
Yeah, they're trying to switch each other's genders, and it's like,
I don't know.
no.
Well,
Oh, by the way,
I think
hold on.
transgender is a thing. I don't think.
I've never seen any actual evidence for it. All they have is this subjective nonsense, something about the brain. Like, well, if you look at a transgender woman's brain and you look at a normal woman's brain, you'll see that they're very similar. Well, motherfucker, the brain is extremely plastic, right? So when what the hell's his name? Leonardo DiCaprio, right? When he played in The Aviator, right? When he performed in The Aviator, he studied severe OCD, like up and down, right? He's a method actor. So after he was done doing his role, they scanned his brain and found that it was very similar, right, to what someone with obsessive compulsive disorder would have. So he actually started having severe OCD by playing the role of Howard Hughes, right?
That's really interesting. I didn't know that. I was going to say, I was going to compare it to, you know that there's people that have, I would say it would be like a disorder where they need to have, they don't feel complete unless they chop off a limb.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's what I find transgender people comparable to.
Yeah, because it is. Blair White will say that if you don't have that, then you're not transgender. Which I thought was an interesting statement. Fine, I don't believe that Blair White is a female. I think Blair White is a guy. I'm sorry, but chopping off your genitals does not change your gender. It's a gender plasty.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm just saying,
but
like,
you know
the people that have that disorder where they need usually like it's a hand or a leg and they have to chop that thing off. That's kind of what.
They feel normal. Yeah, it's a dissociative.
So that's kind of what it seems like. Again, I'm not an expert or anything, but that's kind of what it's comparable to me.
Yeah.
So like I'm fine with that, but you know, you're even transgender people are either one gender or they're the other, and that's even if they're transitioning, if they're going from male to female, there's still two genders involved.
There's still no such thing as non-binary. It's just some.
No, there's not.
It's an identity politic thing. Say, how unique I am.
You know what? You know what I would consider a non-binary person to be. If somebody was like, I'm non-binary, I would imagine you have absolutely nothing in you to make you male or female. You don't have any reproductive organs, or you don't have the correct chromosome, X or Y. So what are you? You got to have one of those things.
Yeah, again, right? Because that X chromosome has a lot of information, including eye color. So I'm not sure you can exist as OO. I'm not sure that's ever developed. Because even when I was studying this thing, they were talking about, like, you can be XO or you can be YO, right? Or you can have XXY. Or you can have XYY, right? And all these things, and never once did OO ever come up. Because if you have OO, I don't think a fetus can develop. I think that would be a natural abortion.
Probably.
Okay, so moving
I don't see how anything could survive.
YouTube videos about feminism and social.
Our conversation is interesting, while my solo commentary clearly drives forward the points I'm trying to make.
No, it doesn't.
Hey, look, this is for me, though. I'm an anti-feminist. This is great.
Yeah, we're both.
Video for me.
Hey, anti-feminist, an open letter. Okay, well, I'm going to respond to that letter.
Scary video to put out there. I predict that 2 hours after this video is posted, the ratings will be okay, but 2 weeks after it's up, and the ratings will not be so okay. And that's because there's a community out there on YouTube made up of viewers and creators who seem set on silencing anyone who talks about anything they deem too social justice.
No, that's bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know what she's talking about.
Yeah, that's because like all feminists, she's just making shit up. As like almost all feminists. Now, Christina Hoff Sommers is a feminist who does not make shit up. She has an idea, she backs it up with facts, or corrects her thinking, right? This is one of the reasons I love Christina Hoff Sommers. What this woman is saying is complete bullshit. They don't want to silence you. They want to correct you because you guys keep saying stupid shit. You keep making shit up, and then when we give you the hardcore facts, you can't fucking handle it.
Kind of a specific group of YouTubers who are just known for like making angry response videos and kind of sending a lot of commenters to go to people's videos, feminist videos.
Bullshit. As a matter of fact,
if you put out content on YouTube purposefully, you've got to really purposefully put out content here on YouTube. You are not free from criticism.
No, see what they're talking about is harassment and trolling and shit, right? And they're saying that these anti-feminists are sending all their people to go to these videos and harass the hell out of them. It's bullshit. No.
No.
Hold on. Let me finish this.
Yeah.
People make response videos, right, to you, and then they put down the original video, right, so that people can see the words you actually say, so that they know that it's not out of context. They know that they didn't quote mine and all that other stuff, right? So they can verify for themselves all the shit you said and how you said it. That what you said wasn't taken out of context or any of that stuff. And you get called out on saying stupid shit. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, if they choose to comment and or troll you or harass you in some way, the YouTubers have no control over people. That is ridiculous.
Almost every single anti-feminist group I know that does YouTube channels, like Undoomed, puts up a disclaimer saying not to go out and harass these people. Now, if you feel free to go out and make a comment or whatever, that is not harassment. That is correcting you on the stupid shit you say, like we're doing now. This is not harassment. This is not
because
us
you are
trolling
not free
This
from
is
criticism.
us, yeah, this is us calling you out on your bullshit.
Videos to dislike them and comment and just like destroy their ratings, basically.
Now, if you notice, I have already thumbed down this video because these people are saying a lot of stupid shit. This is a bad video. This is the shit they're saying is made up and false information.
I'm actually kind of surprised that they even have that stuff available for you to see. Like they have the comment section available and everything.
Yeah, well, they claim they want to be open to discussion, but we'll see what they say later.
It's almost like there's a threshold for them of social justice issues that are all right to discuss and support. There's general LGBT rights, sometimes binary trans identities like trans men and trans women, sometimes mental health advocacy, but anything above that threshold, like rape culture, trigger warning.
Well, first of all, rape culture has no fucking evidence to support it. Trigger warnings is just a way of saying, hey, you're too weak to handle a conversation. Let's see what the other words are.
It's privilege, non-binary.
Yeah, because again, you haven't established privilege. You just make that assumption, or you use that as an insult or a way to silence people. Non-binary genders, there's no such thing as a non-binary gender. So what she's calling a threshold that's not okay to talk about? No, I'm sorry, but all these
things that people don't agree with. This is what this is.
Yeah.
Things that people don't agree with.
It's not that you're not allowed to discuss them. You need to show evidence for them, which you never fucking do.
You want to know, though, I just want to point this out, is saying that somebody has a privilege based solely on their skin color is like extremely one of the most racist things ever. And saying that they have privilege based on their gender is the most sexist thing ever.
Yeah, okay, so you're automatically judging someone's life based on nothing more than their skin color or their gender. And that's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Black Lives Matter and definitely...
You know why? Because Black Lives Matter is a terrorist fucking racist group.
They are. They're extremely...
Now, if you want to talk about Martin Luther King Jr., I'll sit here all fucking day. What they're doing is the exact fucking opposite of what Martin Luther King Jr. spoke out against and talked about. They're the exact Opposite. They are the black version of the KKK.
I'm pretty sure Martin Luther King Jr. never was like, kill all cops and let's loot everything. And
Yeah.
our neighbor.
Well, okay, to be fair, I don't know that well. These two girls padlocked themselves to the police station doors, right? And demand that half of their funding go to the Black Lives Matter. Half. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm not even kidding.
See,
yeah, you can Google that shit.
I wouldn't do that. I'd be like, whatever. Just leave them chained there. They can starve to death.
Yeah, I know.
Silly feminism are not okay in the slightest.
Bullshit. We talk about feminism. Hell, most of our videos are about feminism. We just covered Lacey Green.
To these people. Now, every individual in this community is slightly different. I want to acknowledge that before we continue. There will, of course, be exceptions to the things I'm about to say, and I don't want you to watch.
No, what I want you to do is provide a solid example, which you're never going to do.
This video, and then go on making sweeping generalizations, lumping people in this category and thinking everyone in it is one certain type of.
Again, she's always only talking out of one side of her fucking head. At this point,
gonna get you this whole video.
At this point, I think like she might have a stroke.
Wait, that's not the case. That being said, largely the community that I'm talking about has strong associations with things like advocating for freedom of speech, atheism, championing logic and rationality, and if they have channels, most of the videos they make seem to be.
You had logic and rationality.
Yeah, all you have is making shit up. Like seriously, the whole you can't be racist against white power white people because racism is about oppressing people and therefore like there's like 5 logical fallacies in that. First of all, it's a sweeping generalization. Second of all, racism may be about oppressing someone. It might also be about trying to harm them, right? Or silence them or anything else. As long as you have the ability to speak and or communicate, you have power. I mean, I can't tell you how many videos I saw. I can't tell you how many YouTube videos I saw where the most powerful thing was just a black screen, white lettering, and some just really powerful messages, really thought out ideas.
He's focused on ripping apart social justice advocates and their views for the sake of.
That's because you guys are victim card carriers.
Like she's doing right now. She's a victim because she's a feminist.
You're a professional victim. And all you're doing is strawmanning every single fucking thing you come across or flat out lying about it like you are in this video.
Communication, I'll give this community a name. We'll call them anti-feminists. This is simply because while all their views differ slightly, a vast majority of them seem to have a major opposition to feminism, so anti-feminists it is. If I find a better name later, I'll refer to them differently. Now the real
Sure, I don't have a problem with that.
problem I have with the anti-feminist community isn't their views. I mean, their views bum me out, but there will always be people whose views bum me out. That's inevitable. The thing I really dislike about anti-feminists on YouTube is how strongly they advocate for freedom of speech, yet seem determined on silencing.
Nobody's trying to silence you.
Nobody's silencing.
Wow, that was perfect.
3 minutes.
There's the money shot. I got the money shot.
Nice.
Look at her face, man.
She's super excited. She's like, all right.
Yeah, but like, look, only one side of her face is moving.
Yeah, she's got that one that's lifted up more.
I said, this is like the look of a stroke victim, unlike heroin.
She's like, all right, talking about anti-feminists here. Which, by the way, not silencing because you still have a right to make your videos, just like the anti-feminists have a right to make their videos criticizing your videos. There we go.
I'm gonna come back to this about her being supposedly silenced.
Anyone they disagree with, and they go out of their way to do it. They actively search for social justice advocates and then make videos.
No, you guys are everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much.
Look what they did to Joss Whedon, for crying out loud. Look what they did to anyone, like all those singers and stuff, who came out and said that they were not feminist, right? Like the girl who sang Roar. You know, where the whole song was like in emojis?
Yeah.
I can't remember her name, but yeah.
I don't know her.
Yeah, like she came out saying she wasn't a feminist, and feminists said, "Oh, you wouldn't be able to have a singing career without feminism." Motherfucker, there are women who've been singing for thousands of years, way before feminism ever existed. Don't give me that bullshit.
Specific people, and it's my opinion their critiques tend to be more condescending than constructive. I feel like they pride themselves
Yeah, that's because you say condescending shit, so we're going to be condescending right back at you.
on it being a very logical,
Yes.
rational
Oh my
candidate.
god.
Well, what do you say to that then? Do you think they are in fact as logical and rational as they claim to be?
Absolutely not. So my problem with this is that a lot of times
This coming from someone who said they were a non-binary female. Just pointing that out, man.
there are atheist channels, and I'm an atheist, and I don't want to like bring religion/atheism into this, but it is largely like atheists were like, I'm so logical and I am perfect and everything that I say is objective.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Not all anti-feminists are atheists. So.
Well, they're specifically talking about Thunderfoot in this one. Clearly,
Okay.
it's that obvious to me.
And that's obviously not true, but they try to pass themselves off that way. Like their comments are always, this is illogical, and you don't know what you're talking about, and trying to discredit you and saying that they're objective, when they don't recognize that every person has bias, every person has a perspective. Even I try to acknowledge my own biases, my own perspectives in my videos. Like
Yeah, I'm not buying that.
I know when I'm making an argument, this isn't the objective facts, it's an argument. So I just
Wait. Did I just hear that right?
Rewind it, play it again.
I know when I'm making an argument, this isn't the objective facts, it's an argument.
If your argument does not have objective facts, then what the fuck is it? You in one statement.
It's just an opinion then. He just has
But
an
that's,
opinion.
yeah, that's
So
not an argument. It's just an opinion. That's called a non-argument. Literally, that's what it
you have to
is.
have facts. You gotta have facts in your argument.
Or it's not objective, it's subjective.
At least he admits it. He admits it a little, you know.
Yeah, but he doesn't
did
even
admit it.
realize. He didn't even realize what he fucking said.
He just said it in a weird way, but he should have just come out and been like, I have an opinion.
This is everything exactly as it is, and I know that it is without.
Well, oh, you know what it is without evidence. Okay, whoa, we got to replay that.
Say that this is everything exactly as it is, and I know that it is without acknowledging your own perspective.
Are you kidding me? Like, why is she desperately trying to show us just one side of her face? Like, did she
That's
hear
her
that
good side.
Yeah.
She's like, get my good side with this.
She heard that in a TV show and she ran with it.
In the videos, they make implicitly encourage their audience to go over to their target.
No, they don't. Actually, they explicitly say not to go over and harass. I've heard the amazing atheist say, don't go over to these people and harass, but here's the video to see everything they said. And if if you're going to comment, I mean, you're going to comment, right?
Because you can't control people.
Yeah, you can't control your fucking people, right? And even our show says don't go over. We've said this in almost the beginning of every one of our shows. You know, don't go and harass these people, right?
Leave
But
comments,
here's the stupid
but
shit they
leave
say.
leave comments, but leave non-harassing comments.
Yeah, if you feel the need to do so.
If you would like to leave a comment, constructive.
Their audience bombards the social justice advocates' ratings with dislikes. Many people have bragged to me in the comments about how they made multiple accounts, dozens of accounts, just so they could dislike my content several times. That's dedication.
No, that's a fucking troll. You're gonna have those no matter who you are. I've had them.
Yeah.
Where every time I put up a video, right, the first thing they do is I have exactly 4 on each one of them. I was getting 4 dislikes, like within very short amount of time of me putting it up. The same 4 every single fucking video. Obviously, it's the same, the one guy doing it 4 times. Yeah, I've seen that, and I don't care. It doesn't bug me. Deal with it.
And creepy. And it's important to note that lots of these anti-feminist YouTubers have real power and armies of hundreds of thousands of
Real power? How
That's
many
her
of them?
privilege.
How many of them have made bomb threats against feminists? Oh, right. It's the feminists and the Black Lives Matter movement people who have trolled themselves, sent bomb threats to themselves, and then got arrested for it.
People behind them. So how much power does this community have?
Yeah, so it really depends. There are
You're jealous of the power.
Enough to make Joss Wheaton quit writing and get off Twitter. How about Milo? Where the fuck is Milo?
Yep.
some who are very large YouTubers with a lot of influence that lots of people follow. And if they decide to target someone, especially a smaller person, they can vary them in the amount of dislikes and comments and things like that. But there are smaller people who make response videos, and they're...
And yet, you have 98,000 views on your channel. So, even if they are, they're directing traffic to your channel.
Impact isn't quite as big because it's like any YouTube community, even if it's, I would say, a negative one, it has a wide range of YouTubers with different levels of influence in it, basically.
I've personally been specifically targeted by anti-feminists with millions of subscribers.
And I know people have been targeted by tons and tons of social justice warriors and feminists because they say things that feminists just can't handle, like, you know, those pesky things called facts.
How dare they
Because
have that?
much social influence goes out of their way to talk about just how dumb they think you are. It's scary. And the
Well, when you say really dumb shit, we're gonna call you out on it.
Again, not free from criticism.
Are serious. As a direct result, my comment sections have become filled with threats, violence, and hate speech. And
I got a death threat from a
Trolls, and
pro-lifer.
trolls.
I got it.
Her comment section is full of trolls, trolls, and trolls.
I didn't try to bridge a gap. So she's a trans woman, but also non-binary. Not to sound dumb, but I'm confused. LOL. And that person got... You're not the only one, Avery Jackson. So let's look at it. You people have an incredible lack of introspection. You really do. And the fact that you like, and this person got 242 likes. Please explain how someone can be both non-binary and trans woman at the same time. 32 likes. I'm not the only one who noticed this. Okay, we want the exact reverse. We want a market of ideas where actually things are discussed. Yeah, it's the social justice warriors and the feminists who keep talking about, I need a safe space. Am I wrong?
Not wrong.
Thank you.
you can't say they are simply exercising their right to disagree with me. It goes far beyond that. These kinds
Yeah, those are called trolls. Deal with it. Or get
Everyone
the fuck
gets
out.
them. Anti-feminists get them too. Deal with it.
Yeah, look at Pike and take down MRAs. Even Pike can't stand these people anymore. Pike is the most amiable creature on the planet. He's even more amiable than squirrels. He is the most gentle person on social media in the history of ever. And he can't deal with these fucking social justice warriors and feminists anymore. What the fuck does that tell you?
of audiences have even given themselves a name. They call themselves attack helicopters, and they...
Oh my god, she's so dumb! She's so dumb. I'm gonna replay that.
Did you not know the attack helicopter joke?
No, it's an analogy. Hold on. Okay, let's play.
have even given themselves a name. They call themselves attack helicopters, and they do
not far back enough.
I understand that they're... And you can't say they are simply exercising their right to disagree with me. It goes far beyond that. These kinds of audiences have even given themselves a name.
These kinds of audiences have given themselves a name.
They call themselves attack helicopters.
No, you're a fucking retard. And we're about to go into what she means by attack
And
helicopter.
they do attack in droves. I understand that
It's not a they, you dumb fuck.
their actions aren't face-to-face. Their attacks are just over the internet, but it's still harassment. I'll prove it to you. Comments I get on my Everything Gender video, a project frequently targeted by anti-feminists, go as follows. Trigger warning, incredibly graphic, and derogatory language up next. Am I the only one who would happily gun down any of the mentally challenged cunts featured in this video? This is the most cancerous, autistic, idiotic video ever.
None of these things are attack helicopter.
I sexually identify as an attack.
Okay, so this is what she's talking about right here. I sexually identify as an attack helicopter. Ever since I was a boy, I dreamed of soaring over oil fields, dropping hot.
Helicopter. Ever since I was a boy, I dreamed of soaring over the oil fields, dropping hot, sticky loads on disgusting foreigners. People say to me that a person being a helicopter is impossible and I'm fucking retarded, but I don't care. I'm beautiful. I'm having a plastic surgeon install rotary blades, 30mm pistons, and me 114 Hellfire missiles into my body. From now on, I want to
Okay, this is not a group of people. What this is a parody of the claim that you can be transgender, right? Because
she's not understanding the joke. It's a parody of all the freaking genders or sexualities that the freaking Tumblr makes up.
I know. This is how out of fucking touch she is, right? So the whole I identify now. I've done a similar joke. My thing is I'm a trans deity. I identify as a god, and if you don't worship me, then you're oppressing me.
I've made jokes on Twitter before, being like people. I think most recently somebody was like, "Why don't you show like, you know, who your real face?" Or I don't know, something like that, something about my picture or whatever. And I was like, oh, I identify as a narwhal, and then I posted a picture of a narwhal. This is me. Do I look good? So I've done this joke.
I was at actually, I thought of you when I made this joke. I was at the Pagan Pride Festival in Cleveland, in Bedford, Ohio, right? And these people they're like these narwhals and unicorns, right? And as they were packing up, I said, you know, you can always sell these as land narwhals. They're the unicorns. They got the joke. I mean, you'd have to see it, but yeah. Okay, so I have to step away for a moment. So you freely discuss your ideas on this. I'll be back in like a minute or so.
Okay.
So, yeah, you keep talking to the audience, and you keep up and explain to people or the audience or whatever what you think about this, and I'll be back.
Hello, audience. Time for narwhal thoughts. So far, this is incredibly retarded. Whoever did this like little Twitter post there with like hellfire missiles into my body, my God, you are a genius. I am at UnvarnishedVoid on Twitter. If you made this, follow me. I love you. Because that is absolutely just freaking fantastic. If you have other funny posts like this person, I don't even understand how she doesn't understand that this is a joke. She thinks this is so serious, like, oh, we're attack helicopters attacking things, and she doesn't understand that it's like a parody identity thing. Like, how do you go through your life on the internet and not understand this? Because to me, it seems pretty obvious, but I guess apparently it's not as obvious as I thought it was. They make no sense. They contradict themselves so much in this video right now. They don't understand simple things. Making up words, making up Tumblr stuff. I bet they're all of them are Tumblr users. They gotta be. I've never been on Tumblr though. Ever. I'm not even on Facebook. All I have is my Twitter. And I have a YouTube channel. This video is great though so far. This is a now I can't say it, plethora of hilarity. There, that's what I was going for. I can't play the video, so I don't know what else to talk about now. Call me Apache. I respect my right to kill from above. Oh my god, I cannot get over how funny that is. You should have your rights to kill from above. I will respect you and respect your pronouns. You can respect me and my pronouns. I am just the narwhal, a narwhal. I'm a female narwhal, I identify as. I live in the ocean. Swimming in the ocean. Because I am so awesome. Oh, is he going back now? Oh. I hear stuff. Tipping around.
All right, I'm back.
Yay! I was trying to run out of stuff to say, so I was just.
Okay.
I just said that I was swimming in the ocean because I am so awesome. That's what I ended up.
Okay, I just had to clear my head. All right.
My right to kill from above and kill needlessly. If you can accept me, then you're a heliphobe, and you need to check your vehicle privilege. Thank you for being
Yeah,
that
she's
person's a genius. I love that person. Seriously, like while you're gone, I was like, I am at UnvarnishedVoid. If you're the person that did that, please follow me.
yeah. It's basically parroting, right? The whole thing from the whole transgender thing, right?
It is.
And they're not even
It's so
talking.
obvious.
It's the I claim I'm this, and you have to accept it, or you're hateful, and it's bullshit. No, you have to prove something. You can't just make the assertion. And I'm sorry, I don't buy the whole transgender thing. I haven't seen any real evidence for it. If you have evidence, you know what? Give it to me. Send it my way. Post it in the down below, or in the comment section, and I will take a real active look at it. But if all you have is circumstantial evidence, I'm sorry, you don't have a real argument.
bullet for every gender there was. I'd only need a double-barrel shotgun. I need to learn to tie a noose. Have you had any personal contact with the antisocial justice?
You know, I too need to learn how to tie a noose. I actually don't know how to do that. That's a skill I'd like to have. And not for any nefarious purposes. I just believe everyone should have all the skills they can acquire.
This was very triggering for me because I, as a narwhal, do not have a neck to put a noose around.
Oh, I see. A noose can go around anything, not just a neck.
But how am I to hang myself? I don't have
By your tail.
a neck.
You hang by the
tail,
tail.
yes.
Yeah.
I suppose so.
And if
It's
you're
not
real
the
king,
same though. You have neck privilege.
I can be hung by more than just my neck. I mean, have you ever seen Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? Remember how the guy got picked up after he got hit by the car?
I know, I have not seen that. How did he get picked up?
By the balls.
Oh my god.
That was Steve Martin and John Candy.
No, I've never seen that.
You need to see that. On Thanksgiving, you need to watch that with your boyfriend. It's really funny. Yeah, well, yeah, because it's a Thanksgiving. See, like every Thanksgiving, Christmas, 4th of July, I'll watch something pertaining to do with that holiday. Right?
Well, I usually do too, but I've never seen the Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yeah, that's him trying to get home. That's him trying to get home for Thanksgiving. It's really, really funny. Okay, so moving on.
I have had people make response videos to mine with not the nicest language in them. That does send people to my videos.
They're not required to use nice language when replying to your video.
And that's kind of been my experience with them. It's just I wake up in the morning and there's 100 comments telling me to kill myself, and that's really the extent of my experience with that.
That's the life of an internet user.
Yeah.
Welcome to the internet.
Yep, that and porn.
I try to avoid watching response videos.
Good for you.
Do you watch them? If
I can't help it. If there's one about me.
Really? I have not watched them.
Oh. there's a video
Oh my
just
gosh.
like dating me out there.
Yeah.
Oh my God, is she gonna watch it?
Yeah.
You know
I'm
what?
excited now.
I'm gonna send it to her.
Hi.
I'm gonna,
Hi.
yeah. Hello.
Yeah.
You know what? I wonder if she types out of one side of her body too.
Like, that's what I was worried about, is if I watch it, it's like I'm giving them views, I'm
Sure.
giving them watch time, I'm kind of validating that what they're doing is an okay thing, that like people are wanting to watch. But no, I feel the curiosity. Like, I do want to know what's in it, but at the same time, I don't want to. I know it's just going to make me feel bad and it's just going to frustrate me.
You know what? Maybe that is a woman. Doesn't sound like he has any balls.
Now you believe in trans.
Not really.
And
And it often goes beyond cyberbullying. One of my good friends who's a creator expressed having problems in their real life as a product of these anti-feminists. People at his school found the anti-feminist.
Okay, so how about the feminist who went to an active soldier's superior and tried to have, some things happen to him, right? They try to get him kicked out of the military and all that other shit. How about when feminists do that? How about when feminists get Nobel Prize winners fired from their job because they said something feminists didn't like?
Mm-hmm.
Forget the fact that this guy is 80 generations old, right? And that he's from a different time, right? Forget that. No, let's just destroy everyone who disagrees with feminism, right? Because that's what feminists do. That's why we are anti-feminist. They aren't intellectually honest. They try to destroy lives. And whenever men start talking about men's rights and they decide to, hold a conference in, like, let's say,
They
Detroit,
protest it.
they make multiple bomb threats.
They try to get
Forget
things
the
shut
protest.
down with their
They
bomb
can protest all they want.
protest.
I don't have a problem with that, but they made active bomb threats. The only bomb threats against feminism are from feminists pretending to be someone else. Then when the FBI gets in and discovers, oh, look at this, or when Jessica Valenti harasses herself because, and you can tell because she gets to switch accounts. Yeah, so
hilarious.
maybe if feminists weren't so intellectually dishonest, we wouldn't be so anti-feminist.
I like how they're not getting bullied enough. Then they got to create the bullies to play the victim.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that sad?
Videos targeting him, and they use these videos as fuel to make fun of him IRL. He also received threats before going to VidCon from anti-feminists. Needless to say, my friend.
Can I meet you with a? Wait, no, that guy just wants to take him out shooting to the shooting range.
Wait, say it again.
Oh, if you go back to the way she first shows them.
Okay.
The very first one. Can I meet you with a shotgun? That guy just wants to take you to the shooting range. You don't know his intention. You are going to get eaten alive.
You know what? Maybe he just wants to get married. If you
notice, that's not a death threat. You are going to get eaten alive. That's not a threat.
Interesting. It says a real comment. This has been edited.
It has, but I'm just saying, like, you will get eaten alive. It's not a death threat.
This is why I don't trust them, because I don't see who made the actual threat. Why don't you give me a prominent...
More like, I missed my only opportunity to shoot you in the back of the head. That's a threat, but probably not legitimate. I'm gonna go on a limb here and say that the person will never shoot you. But the first one, you are going to get eaten alive. It's not a death threat.
Yeah, the first one's not a death threat.
With the shotgun is like iffy. You don't know what he means.
Yeah, you can say no, and that's not really a threat. It's just a question at this point.
This is a question.
It's an
okay, go on to this one. I want to read the next ones. Pause it. Go on to the next ones and then pause it so we can read those.
Going to VidCon from anti-feminists. Needless to say, my friend did not feel the safest at the con. Now, I imagine anti-feminist players who've seen this video will say they are not responsible for the actions of their audience. This seems like a huge cop-out to me.
How is it a cop-out?
It doesn't huge cop out. Oh, look at that smile. Oh, this is a huge cop out.
Poor baby. Poor baby.
Because, you know, I can control hundreds of thousands of people at once.
Yeah. We're all mindless zombies. Please tell me who to troll. Like, are you fucking kidding? No. What happens is you get called out by a lot of people for saying really stupid shit. Congratulations, you have the mentality of Trump.
And no one can control anybody on what to say. And they're not even sending people out there. They're saying, hey, please don't troll these people. And if somebody chooses of their own accord to still go and troll you or leave a death threat or something, that is on them. That is not on the YouTuber.
Now, I will eat my words if you can show me the YouTuber who says go out and troll these people. Show me. Show me where they say, specifically say, go out and harass these people. Show me.
Citations needed.
Thank you. Otherwise, you're just full of shit.
Your audience certainly isn't literally controlled by you. You're not in their home forcing their hand, but we've seen this pattern for years now.
Yeah, you say something stupid, and a lot of smarter people call you out on it. It's a simple. That happens in real life, also outside of the fucking internet. People are still making fun of Kennedy for saying, "I am a donut," and Reagan for saying, "Where would this great country be without this land of ours?" Really? Like, hello?
The anti-feminist makes a targeting video and their audience goes over in droves trying
No, what we do is make a response video and show people how fucking stupid you are and the stupid shit you keep saying. Not one thing in your video so far has been at all showing any kind of evidence.
And again, I will repeat, you are not free from criticism.
Yes. Everything you've said in this video so far is you making shit up. And the one thing that you did show, right, you called out a group of attack helicopters. You don't even know what that is. It isn't a group of people who are going to go over to your channel and harass you. An attack helicopter is a gender identity.
Yep, there you go.
One that makes fun of all the other 600 billion gender identities from Tumblr. It's not a group of people designed to harass others. No. All you do is don't like the fact that when someone uses your exact same argument, only they replace it with the most ridiculous thing they can think of, all of a sudden you have a problem with it. That's what that is.
And that's what it sounds like to everybody else.
This leads me to believe they either condone the behavior or simply don't care. That's where anti-feminists and I differ. If my audience
pause it. So they cannot make criticizing videos because if they do and somebody trolls you or sends a threatening message, then that is their fault, and then they should, and if they are condoning it if they make a video, that makes no sense. Okay, and for now on, you making this against anti-feminist video or whatever, if anyone goes and trolls any anti-feminist, you make any more videos, you condone their behavior. How's that for logic? If you make any more videos on anti-feminists or anything else, and somebody goes and trolls anybody that's, you know, an anti-feminist now, you are condoning that behavior. You're now completely 100% responsible for their behavior. Apparently.
Well, it doesn't apply to a feminist.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was using way too much logic there.
I said I'd be pissed. Maybe I'm an idealist, but I'd like to hope we can live in a world where we disagree, but instead of having our audiences fight the fight for us, we can open our ears and minds and listen, learn, and discuss. I don't want to just complain, so I'll offer some solutions. I think we can work towards a better future by doing two things. When I say we, I mean feminists.
What can I do? I said I'm excited. What can I do?
Okay.
Let's go.
And anti-feminists. All people. Number one, explicitly tell your audience that you don't condone them attacking people you disagree with.
Just about every anti-feminist group I know does that.
All right, I gotta say it right now. Do not go and leave death threats, you know, no death threats, people. No death threats. The attack helicopter stuff is hilarious, so that's fine. 'Cause, you know, whatever. No death threats, though. No death threats. This is from your friendly neighborhood narwhal. There we go. Now I have to wait for him to come back, I guess.
Yeah, the Water Bear Brigade does not condone harassing or threatening messages.
But we condone attack helicopter gender.
Yes, we can. We accept the gender identity of attack helicopters and trans deities. If you can be transsexual and you can be trans racial, then you can be a trans deity. Because otherwise, you're just being specious.
Exactly. Go. I gotta hear the second thing.
I'll do this now. Hey audience, as you watch this video, I feel like it's safe to assume that maybe a few specific anti-feminists popped in your head. If you want to go over to their channel and express why you disagree with their views, that's fine.
Wait, did you just send your entire audience to go over and harass anti-feminists?
Quotes around the harass part.
Please remain respectful and constructive. I'll be disappointed if you purposely try to make them feel
Oh, okay. I
like
stand corrected.
Number 2, make videos responding to larger issues rather than specific people. If you have a problem with something, say trigger warnings or third wave feminism, make a video breaking down those concepts.
Wait. There's tons of video breaking down those concepts.
Yeah, even by other feminists.
Why go to all the trouble of finding someone who talks about these things just to mock them? Is it because it's more entertaining? Do you think you'll get more views?
Okay,
Because if so,
wait,
that
she
doesn't
needs to pause it. Okay.
Oh, look!
A lot
Look!
of the
She
time,
has the other side of her face!
there's there's a lot of videos that are breaking down everything for you, okay? And then there's also videos that mock. And sometimes the same people that make videos that break down things will make a video to mock, because you can't make a video breaking down the same thing over and over again. That's boring. So you make a video because you know you've heard the same thing from feminists like 100 times, so now you're making some videos mocking it after you've probably made the video breaking down it. Just saying.
I feel like you're capitalizing on making fun of people. You've turned mocking others into a money-making business. To me, that's gross.
That's called YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't respect
Deal
it.
with the internet.
Well, I don't respect someone who says they're non-binary female. Like, hello, did you think about the words before you identified them?
No, word salad. Throw it all together, mix it up, delicious.
Yeah.
I like to put ranch dressing on my word
That
salad.
has good intentions.
I think they have a very set values that
Okay.
they adhere to very strongly and like identify with very strongly. That
Whoa, wait a second. I would not say that about anti-feminists. Anti-feminists come from like everywhere. There's some anti-feminists that are atheists, all sorts of different values. Feminists are the one that adhere to a set, strict value patriarchal system that they like.
Did you see them tearing each other up with their own hashtag?
No, wait. Is that men had periods?
Yeah, if men had periods.
Okay. Well, every feminist, even the most reasonable one. Like I've spoken to like one reasonable feminist where she was like, you know, kind of reasonable on Twitter. I don't know, it was a while back. All right. She still freaking believed in rape culture and the patriarchy. All right. They all adhere to those like values right there.
Well, the funny thing is with the hashtag, if men had periods, right? Like someone was saying, like tampons would be free. I'm like, men have testicles. Cups aren't free. Hello. Your logic falls apart with every single example I could possibly think of.
Tampons shouldn't be free anyways, because I'm going to explain this for a second. If you want something for free, it's going to be cheap crap, all right?
Yeah.
It's always going to be free. I do not want my tampons for free. Do not give me tampons for free. I don't want it. I don't want it at all. I'm going to buy the ones that I like. Thank you very much. I make my own money. I can buy my own, and I could buy the ones that I personally like. I don't want your free crap.
Yeah. Oh, so they were like half the feminists were saying like all this stupid shit, like if men had periods and blah blah blah, right? And then half the other feminists came out and said, "I'm so ashamed of these feminists who are transphobic."
Yes, they forgot about trans men, which, by the way, men cannot even if you're a trans man, okay, you've transitioned from female to male.
Which you can actually
you look, but if you still have the genitals of a female and you still have a period, you're not like a man that's having a period, okay? You're a trans man that's having a period, but you still have the chromosomes of the female. So you're still technically on a scientific level a female having a period. I'm just saying, just throwing that out there.
Johnny,
I think people.
Johnny, there's no such thing as chicks with dicks, just guys with boobs.
But like, I do think there are trans men, trans women, that kind of stuff. But you, under no circumstance, can you be a man and have a period. It's just, it can't be done on a scientific level. It's not.
Yeah,
no.
they don't have a fucking uterus that has an outer lining that fills with blood.
So it's not transphobic to sit there and say, no, you can't have a period.
I know, but their ideologies like totally ate each other up. It was hilarious.
It was funny. It was really funny. I went through it. I don't think I added anything to it, but I believe I retweeted stuff and that I found hilarious.
Okay, let's get through this.
Yeah, and trans people don't exist and stuff like that, and they want to defend those ideals, and they know that if they do it in this very inflammatory and aggressive way, that they will get views, and that there are people who will resonate.
No, I just said I want some evidence, and I'm willing to read the evidence you have that says transgender exists, but it can't be some subjective nonsense. I want hardcore scientific evidence.
There you go. Somebody provide him with evidence. He needs it.
And they've learned to exploit that and to use it to like help them get more popular.
How do you handle it when you do get a wave of hatred that comes to you after?
Is it hatred or is it a wave of criticism that you can't handle? Honestly, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be mean. Like, yeah, yes, okay, I believe
a lot of it could be criticism that they can't handle it. Some of it is like maybe people telling them to kill themselves that are like, you know, legit hateful people. I guarantee there are a couple. But then I believe, and this is just going off of the fact that, you know, I've been on the internet, yes, and that there are people that are probably telling you to kill yourself because they are a troll. They think it's hilarious. They're just trolling. They're not serious. They're just being assholes. And they're probably, they just like to go about and tell everybody to kill themselves. Or say trolly asshole stuff. That's what they do. It's part of the internet. Welcome. Welcome to the internet. Everyone has to do it.
I'm not seeing any threats. I'm not seeing any threats.
They pulled up 3 examples or whatever, which, you know, one of them really wasn't.
2 of them really weren't.
Well, the shotgun thing, it could be interpreted different ways.
Yeah, it could be, but it was still a question.
The top one, it was a silly question.
Yeah, it was a silly question.
One, they even made a face. They even made a face with it, you know, a silly face.
Yeah, so you know they're not being serious.
And then in the top one definitely wasn't. That was like you're going to be eaten alive. That's like that's not necessarily a threat at all.
Yeah, that's the foreshadowing of what's to come because of something you said.
Yeah, and that's not even like you're going to be physically harmed kind of thing. Well, that could be somebody's going to take some facts and show in.
That's a figure of speech, for fuck's sake.
It is. It is a figure of speech. Okay.
After they've targeted you?
Honestly, it's still a thing that I'm trying to figure out how to cope with. And a large part of my response has been to just stop looking at the comments. I haven't looked at my comments in a couple weeks.
So then how are you supposed to have an open dialogue if you're not willing to look at the comments?
A couple of weeks is a long time. I can understand a couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks if you have something drastic, dramatic happen in your life. But generally, you should probably respond to your audience, or at least read the comments. I mean, you can't have an open discussion. You can't see what they're actually saying. How do you know you've gotten any death threats in these 2 weeks? What if it's 2 weeks of no death threats, or just maybe one? I think 1 death threat in 2 weeks would be really nice. That's pretty good. You're doing good.
Yeah, like I said, I got a death threat from a pro-lifer. I love the irony. And all I did was I laughed and I reported him. Gone. Never heard from him, seen him again. Still here. Well, not the decade. Almost.
What? You're still alive?
Yeah. Surprisingly. You have no idea how surprising that really is.
When I post a video, I'll look at the comments immediately afterwards.
You know what? Actually, here's the thing. When I was in Job Corps, I got 30 death threats within 2 weeks of being there.
Jesus.
From people, like, face to face. One guy, right, after lunch, he comes up to me, he says, "You ever sit at the table again, I'll fucking kill you." I sat at the table every single fucking day. Never did a damn thing.
I would have too.
Didn't even look me directly in the eye after that. Yeah, to sit at a fucking table. He didn't want me to sit at a table. If I ever sit there again, he's going to fucking kill me.
I would have sat on the table. I've been like, this is my table now, bitch. This table is my bitch. Sat on it. Laid on it. Rolled around
I sat
on
there,
it.
and I'm talking to that, like, the people I had started, who eventually became friends, right? I just looked at him every once in a while, seeing when he was going to do something. Never did a fucking thing. This was in real life. This wasn't on the internet. This was to my face. And I still didn't give a shit.
Because I know the people who are watching the video immediately. Yeah, it's just the people, my normal audience, who wants to see the stuff. And then it takes the trolls, I don't want to call them trolls, but the hateful people a few days to find my video and start making comments like that. So I can respond to things quickly, but I don't check all of my comments like I used to. And I'm not sure if that's the best way to be dealing with things. I don't know. I want to be checking my comments, and I know there's an argument for disabling your comments to not give them even that opportunity.
Then you can claim you're open to discussion.
Yeah, it feels like YouTube has rules in the terms of service against harassment and bullying and stuff like that, and yet channels are allowed to thrive that are just built on harassment and bullying.
Yes.
It seems like it shouldn't exist.
So those are my thoughts. I look forward to the inevitable video responses specifically targeting me to come. And for those of you about to ask, no, I will not participate in a live debate.
This was my favorite part of this whole thing. They don't read the comments. They claim they want to have an open, nice discussion, but she doesn't want to go on anyone else's channel to have a discussion. You know why?
We could have had her. We could have had her. You know what? We should still throw out the invite. Because, you wanted to learn about trans people and have evidence.
Oh, I already know. I don't need to learn.
Oh, okay, not learn. Okay, you know about trans people.
Which I know they don't have. It's like asking creationists for their evidence on intelligent design.
Yeah,
they don't have it.
You gotta throw it out there, though. Maybe she does. Maybe she
I will. I'll admit that I could be wrong on this. I've always admitted that I could be wrong, but I'm not buying it.
Yeah, I've never done like a ton of research into it. I don't really care. But let's throw it out there. She should come on with us. Her date, her time, gotta let us know. I'll even ask for work off. You know what? I'll ask for work off. And we could do this together if she wants to.
Well, you know what? You're considerably more pleasant than I am. So you send out the invite. No,
we're telling her now. Remember, she watches the video. So if she watches this video, this is the invite. I'm at UnvarnishedVoid on Twitter. She can contact me. We can get together.
Okay. Sounds good.
If she wants the open discussion she claims, let's not be a hypocrite now. No, I will not have this open discussion. Well,
so here's the thing. If she wants an open discussion, I will be respectful during the discussion. I will set this up like an actual debate, but I'm going to require evidence for any of these claims. I have all sorts of screen caps and shit saved on my computer. Right? Yes. quotes from actual feminists.
There's two of us. There's two of us, so she can invite a friend.
Yeah, we'll accept anyone on. I'm not going to play the pronoun game. I'm sorry, I'm not willing to do that.
I'm not going to learn any weird pronouns.
Hold on. I am willing to avoid pronouns and just strictly use names. I'm willing to do that.
Yeah, I would not
learn
any weird
That way, that
pronouns.
issue is set aside, right? But how can you have an open and honest discussion with someone if you're not willing to talk to them on YouTube, and you're not willing to talk to them on Twitter, right? And you don't read the comment sections? All you've done is place yourself in a bubble where you're plugging your ears and you're closing your eyes and you're saying, everybody hates me, everybody hates me, everybody's out to get me. Yeah, that's all you're doing. So if you honestly want to have an open debate.
Yeah, I don't hate you. You can come on here. I'm not leaving you any death threats. Do not kill yourself. That's my opposite death threat.
Yeah, because if you kill yourself, this would be a really boring one-way conversation.
It really would. So do not kill yourself. We would do this for the open discussion that you said you didn't want here, but then you said you do want open discussion. You're very confusing, very
contradictory,
conflicting statements. We're allowing you to get rid of that conflicting statement. There you go.
All right, so let's play the rest of the video.
Yeah. I have a full-time job, a family, and frankly, better things to do than engage with the 100 people who want to argue with.
Well, yeah, but if all that's true, then you had a lot better things to do than make this video.
We're not going to argue. We're gonna have a debate. We're gonna have a debate.
Well, the debate is an argument.
Well, yeah. Well, not like we're not going to argue, call names and stuff. We're just going to have a civil.
Yeah. It won't be like playground argument.
Yeah, it'll be
this won't be the argument you have with your family on Thanksgiving.
Yes, this will be like a nice debate.
However, I am genuinely interested in your constructive thoughts, whether you just...
We will give you our constructive thoughts.
That, again, that sounds very contradictory.
...disagree with me or agree with me, so please let me know them in the comments below. Okay,
the comments that you don't read!
Okay, bye!
Well, she said she reads the comments, and she said she watches the videos. He's the one who said that he can't read them or watch them.
Yeah, he read the comments in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, so that's...
She'll watch this video. Hello to you again. Hi. Hi from the ocean.
Yeah, so it's getting pretty late, so I think we should wrap up the show.
Yeah. This was much later than I wanted, but it was so interesting.
Yeah, I figured if I started playing it, you'd get into it, and I didn't expect that to take as long. And I'm sorry for leaving you hanging there for a minute. Like I said, I had to clear my heads. I was starting to really cough terribly there for a minute, and I didn't think the audience would like that. So yeah, so there's our take on these things. We finally wrapped up the feminist response to my article. We went over Lacey Green's hypocritical bullshit. We went over the hate anti-feminists, which nothing they said was even remotely true at all. And if
they would like to discuss it and come on with their evidence, if it is
we're willing to have that.
We would be open to that.
We're willing to have any feminist come onto the show and argue their points, right? And we will accommodate your time. We will accommodate, as best as we can.
If it has to be 2 weeks out, and I can request the day off from work. If I don't already have it on, I will clear that day's schedule. That is your day for any feminist.
Well, I don't know if I can do that. I'm out of vacation days until December at least. Most of my vacation days went to having to leave work because there was no work, and
I'm just saying, if you get a feminist and you guys agree on a time, if you get a feminist, it's like, hey, I would like to do this, and you agree on a time, you just let me know, and as long as it's 2 weeks out, then I can request the day off. Okay.
All right, that sounds good. So I hope everybody enjoys themselves. I hope we get more views on on these last 2 videos, because we haven't seemed to get much yet, which is unusual. But I plan to make now that I know how to make these YouTube video responses. I plan to do them more often and cover more feminist videos to really get into like showing people what these people are saying and pointing out the bullshit in their arguments. And if anyone has any requests, I'm open to reviewing anything you think I should. So it's out there. Let me know what you think. Patreon will be in the description below. The sources will be in the description below. If I forget anything, just put something in the comment section, and you know I'll address it as soon as possible. Are you good, Unvarnished?
I'm good. Like I said, I gave my Twitter, my @UnvarnishedVoid. You can see my Twitter there.
That'll be in the down below. As soon as I stop the broadcast, I'm going to be putting everything in the down below.
Yep, there we go. Woo!
And the comment section is always open. I do not, even if it's trolling, I do not delete the comments. You are free to make any comment you like.
Best yet, I want to hear in the comment section below the best attack helicopter thing. Go for it.
All right.
Make me laugh.
This is the WaterBearBrigade, and we are out. Enjoy your day, evening, or whatever.